inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
I run this bitch on my own.
Yep. We probably need to get ready to count us down, probably get us out at 17.
Inside the trenches.
Well, hello, somebody. It's time to move your body. Welcome back to Inside the Trenches. It's your host, Marlon, big favorite. And happy New Year's to all of y'all out there. New Year, I know a lot of y'all got y'all slogans, New Year, New Me. But guess what? It's a new year, same podcast, same folks. We got NOLA in the building. We got my homie, Lil Chris in the building, going into that, in that senior year here at Loyola. And he's getting ready to walk across that stage this year, Chris.
Yep.
You mate?
Yep.
Oh, springtime. Big time for you. Look at you. Look at you. Big ups to all of our sponsors out there. We want to send a big shout out to the Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Get Gordon, get it done. Be sure to hit them up if you've been involved in any injuries, personal injuries, whether it's vehicular or at work. 504-800-8888. Get Gordon and get it done. Shouts out to Conquer Sports Pros, baby. Conquer Sports Pros. Visit the site, csportspros.com. If you're a high school football player, college, or pro, you're looking for some position-specific training, you're looking to get stronger, more mobile, hit us up. Again, csportspros.com is their website. And if you need help throughout this treacherous recruiting process, we got y'all covered like a blanket, baby. Y'all can, again, visit that site. We'll have some information, of course, attached to this show, as always. Be sure, if you have any questions, any things that need to happen, definitely hit us up. And big ups, we got a special guest coming into the building today, baby. Well, I'm looking forward to the new line of the products, but definitely Health Nut System. Health Nut System, baby. Dr. Kendra and her family do an excellent job at packaging together some of the best nutrients for your body, the things that you need. Look forward to her coming. I think segment 2 or 3, we're going to have Dr. Kendra come in, and she's going to talk to us about her new products. And, we always repping them over here, and we appreciate them for all of their support. CL, I'm going to come to you first, big dog, and then we'll come to Chris. I know Chris is well-versed. This is his generation, brother, that goes to this transfer portal and have to figure out what their next moves in terms of college is going to be, so on and so forth. But I want to start off just before we get into LSU and Tulane. Obviously, they had some players that jump in the portal, bringing some new faces to LSU. I'm excited to talk about, with the new regime here with Coach Lane Kiffin it's so much that that's going to change here drastically. But my question for you is, with this small window, right? We have this 2-week period between now and the end of the transfer report. I want to say it's the 15th or the 18th. My mind slips me the date, but just being able to be a top, your college program, trying to put your program at the top of the pedestal, make it to that Elite 12, to make it into the college football series, and you have 2 weeks to really put together that roster. And in some cases, some of these teams are still in it. I just wanted to get your thoughts on like how that could be for them.
I personally think it's completely insane because you have to re-sign players that might leave, might decide not to leave. You know, you have a 2-week window. Some bowl teams are still doing their thing. You know, obviously the playoffs are still going on. So it almost seems impossible. And hats off to the front offices and the GMs of schools and the head coaches for being able to put teams together really in the midst of a college free agency, if you will. And it's quite remarkable. Unfortunately, they will change the days eventually. They'll adjust it eventually. But this 2-week period has to be mind-wrecking for head coaches, scouts, and players as well.
Yeah, Chris, I'm going to come to you next because you think about a position like quarterback. You get your guy, he's fresh out of different program. You have this one window to get him. If you don't pick the right quarterback in this time period, that's a wrap. Something new this year, right? Now in this situation, instead of having 2 transfer portal windows, you really only got this one. How critical is that?
That is unfortunate. Like to kind of reiterate what you said, in the midst of all these bowl games going on, college football playoffs, it's going to be very hard to pick the players you want to pick whenever you want to, and all these other things. It's going to be hard while all this is going on. I personally feel like they should push the transfer portal and the high school signings back at least after the season, after the national championship game. I know, there's still the Super Bowl and the NBA All-Star game and all that stuff. That's a distraction to all that. But, I just feel like they should definitely push it to a different day. Or, like you say, make another, transfer portal to, give them another opportunity to build. So I think it is definitely it's very critical that they pick the right pieces to who's going to fit the system.
And don't get me wrong, I'm all about free agency. I never hide my feelings or my thoughts when I come on this show. And I felt some kind of way about Lane leaving Ole Miss and the way they left him and all that. And coaches get to have carte blanche, do pretty much whatever they want to do. And even now, the players that have adjusted to the players where, a guy like TJ Finley has been on, 7 different teams, 5 different teams, So, and like I said, I never want to cap these young men. I never want to put limits or any type of unrealistic expectations on them. But I think when they do change the rules, when college football changes the rules, maybe they should limit the transfer portal to maybe only 4 times. Because right now it's unlimited. You can go to a different school every year if you want. And which is once again insane. How does a coach keep his team together? How do you get continuity? How do you get people to believe in the system and work inside the system? If every day we're looking at we're seeing a guy resign. He's gonna stay. Imagine being a coach or a recruiter or whoever, literally have to get no sleep wondering what these kids are going to do. And shouts out to all these young men. They're very talented. They have talent that needs to be put on display, and they should get the highest dollar for their talent. But I think somehow, some way, it has to be fixed because I think we're eroding college football at its essence.
And another big thing, too, y'all, to look at, what's happening is it is really turning into this pre-NFL process. Yeah. Because NFL teams, though the structure is better, NFL teams have to make these moves as well. They have to piece together teams. Now, there's you have restricted, non-restricted free agents. You have guys who are eligible free agent. You have teams that have the option to have a guy under a 4 or 5 year contract and could trade him throughout the season. I don't think college football will get that intense. but what needs to happen is it does need to be even. It needs to be even for the players and the coaches. The time frame is going to mean something. What I mean by pre-NFL, though, guys, like free agency. Yeah. That's the free agency window right now. Like, take a coach like Coach Lane Kiffin, and we'll get to LSU here in a second for our viewers. And we want y'all to feel free to chime in the conversation. Feel free to like and subscribe. You could comment on any of our pages. Lil Chris, Lil Dot. Damn.
Lil Chris 3K _ all lowercase.
CL _ NOLA, Big Fave 504. Feel free to comment, and then definitely hit us up right here on the ESPN Baton Rouge's YouTube Live, and feel free to comment as we're going on. My man UP doing his thing in at a one-man army with the college students being out right now, so we may be late to get to some of y'all comments, but feel free to chime in and comment about this. Excuse me, boy, got me belching. Okay, so for you to make it to the top 12, you do have to have an NFL mindset as a college coach.
Oh, for sure.
You have to, because you have such a small window to put together an elite team. You have to have the ability to recruit in the locker room. It starts there. It's guys that you have to target right away. You could tell by the Nike deal, off dump, Trey Ass Green, DJ Pickett. We need y'all here. You're looking at the guys in the future that's going to be huge to your season this year. Then you have to bring in the right pieces through the portal in this little time. You have to fly players in, fly their teams in. Take a look at family and friends in the area. You got to do all kind of stuff to piece together your team. And CL, that's just simply a challenge for cats like Coach Lane Kiffin trying to take a 7-6 team to this level.
Well, like I say, it's a momentous task for not just the coaches, not just the scouts. Even let's think about the transportation coordinator.
All of that.
Flying these guys in. We got our own little free agent right now that's in Mexico. Mr. Daniel CH. How do you get in contact with him when he's in Mexico, right? So there's just so much going on. We have to, almost look at it with a grain of salt, because I think college football is figuring it out on the fly, which is unprecedented for any major corporation or business, for them to not necessarily have a business model that they're following. They're creating this as they go. And as people like us sit here and complain and speak about how, college free agency is crazy and the time portal is short, I think it's a work in progress, and they'll continue to tinker.
Off top. And Chris, I look at it from this perspective, y'all, and this is our next talking point. I'll get your take on it first. You have transfer portal guys, players that's already established on a team that you had a conversation with and say, hey, we want to have you here next season. And then you have your high school students finding that balance. Right?
I forgot about them.
See,
I'm
just
talking
that quick.
free agency.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because today officially starts the contact period. So now college coaches could talk to the high school players, maybe a guy that they had their eye on during the early.
So you mean tampering? There's free tampering.
Free tampering, basically, contact. Because for our viewers out there, I don't know how well versed y'all are on this, but you have dead period, which we just got out of the dead period. That's the holiday. You have quiet period. That's when, teams prospects could come to you. And then the big one is what we're in now, the contact period. And this is where coaches could talk. Now, that window is more realistic, right, Chris? Because you have enough time and enough leeway to talk to the players, because they're keeping the original signing day, which is in February.
And I think that should be the more realistic one for sure. Because, like you said, it gives them more leeway, more time to select their guys even the high school guys that's coming in, transfer portals, who's going to fit the system and get some chemistry and continuity from there.
Yeah.
I mean, does the world even know that majority of the top 10 schools or the top 12 schools, they don't really even bring in freshmen like that? They want to get a guy that got some skins on the wall that's maybe played a year, got some snaps, got some film, some college film on tape. So, it puts the high school student at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
And that's not what we want to do.
Well, that's the big difference, y'all, between then and now. Back then, we could take what was called the traditional path. Your coach making you a nice VHS, sending it off, even the early days of huddle. Like, that was different. You can make that contact. The coach could see a guy, hey, this is a player that we get in our program and keep him here for a few years. Now, it's even more complex for the high school players. I mean, we had probably 10 kids over there the other day at Conquer Sports. You have to stay up on the A-ball. Your technique can't fall back, your speed, your agility. That's why, and later on in the show, we'll be joined by Oliver Mitchell, Tulane player. He went to Etna High School, won some championships. You have to be able to compete against teams like that.
Right.
That's why a lot of those players, that's why they signed 15 guys. And that was the early signing day. They're probably going to sign 25, close to maybe 30 guys once this next traditional signing period. So for the high school students out there, I can't stress to you more now than any time ever, you have to train around the clock.
Oh, sure.
Stay on top of your studies, stay sharp, because you're not competing with other freshmen for later on time. You're competing with guys in the transfer portal. You're competing with players that's already there, that's established, and you're competing with these other 4 or 5 stars. This isn't a downer at all. This is just really a motivator, like, hey, go out there and do your thing. So, fellas, we're going to take it local. Obviously, Tulane's going to have to make some moves here in the transfer portal. You had some of their guys announce that they were going to hit the transfer portal in LSU as well. I'll start here with LSU first. We're talking about Etna Carr. Teron Francis has officially hit the portal. He's a player that had made a lot of noise in the spring, coming in highly sought out after was recruited heavily out of Etna Carr. When we talk about players that have to be collegiate ready, he is the epitome of that. CL, when you think of Etna Carr's former player, LSU now, former LSU Tiger, Teron Francis, what do you think is the best fit for him? What, another SEC school come to mind? You see him in the Big Ten?
Are we speaking of Megatron?
We're talking about man-child.
Man-child.
Yeah.
You know, that's so crazy. Carr has so many names for all the players. It's crazy to be even able to keep up with that. I think it's about the best fit for him. Unfortunately, it didn't click for him at LSU. He didn't really get on the field that much. I'm sure his talents can be used at various schools, even some in Baton Rouge. But, I just wonder, what is that process like? Because when you enter into the portal, there has to be somebody on the other side that wants you. You can enter into the portal all you want, but if there's no one else that's jockeying for you, that's looking for you, that has an idea of what your skill set is, because think about it, you don't have much tape. So the ideal place, to answer your question, Big Fave, the ideal place I see for Teron Francis is Ole Miss. Because what? Frank Wilson knows him. Frank Wilson knows his skill set. Frank Wilson knows his family. Frank Wilson is familiar with all players out of Louisiana, let alone in the SEC.
I could see that as a play for him. I do see a big swap here with Ole Miss and LSU, which kind of brings up my other challenge. Now, I know that Ole Miss, Indiana, Oregon, Miami, the 4 teams that still left here in the college football playoffs, which, we'll dive into that here momentarily as well. They have to have a recruiting staff staying in contact with these guys in the portal because of that time switch. Like, it's a 2-day difference between the close of the portal and this national championship.
2 days.
So just legit
2 days.
A 2-day.
That's crazy.
2-day window. 2-day window. So it is complex. I do beg the NCAA college football to change this window.
Absolutely.
Push it back. You do. Like early signing day needs to be like somewhere after Martin Luther King Day or something. It needs to get pushed to like a later January date. Maybe 2 or 3 weeks from signing day. Even if you probably push signing day back a little bit, you could probably move it back a week just to make it make sense. So you have that, maybe 3 or 4 week window where your college coaches, even the ones that just won the college football playoff, whoever, for this year, I don't know if it's going to be Indiana, Miami, it really looks like Indiana, Miami, Ole Miss, Oregon. I don't know. What that is for those teams, but it'll at least give those guys enough time after that time frame to go and recruit, because that'll change the players. The players don't feel like they have to rush. Right now we got players rushing, and that's crazy.
Right. And don't nothing good happen when you're rushing, baby.
Hello, somebody. So let's go through a couple of these guys from LSU. Well, we got about 5 more minutes left. We may have a little time to get to Tulane, and definitely y'all feel free to chime in. All of us love doing this all the time, so if you hit us up on any of our social medias, as I mentioned, I'm Big Fave 504, Lil Chris _3, I think it's some 3K, and then CL _NOLA. See, look at that.
3K, huh?
Yep. Right. So Michael Van Buren Jr. did decide to get in the portal. This will be now Mississippi State, LSU, and wherever he goes, ? We knew about Colin Hurley jumping in. Caden Durham has went in. Jawan Johnson for certainly went in. You have JT Lindsey, who just got acquitted. I just saw that release on Fox Sports, Fox News.
Unfortunate situation.
And then now this kid, unfortunate, but fortunately, he got released from all those charges and now is eligible.
So they're going to give him his eligibility back?
Yeah.
Okay,
just in
cool.
time for the transfer portal, reportedly. I hadn't, this was just me just keeping it down. Everybody scrolling up my Instagram. I saw it on Fox page. That's how I got the information. But prayers to that kid and his family. But you got to watch it. You got to make sure it's like not Lady Fox News, but Fox News. Like, it got to be the official, whoever, WWL, WDSU. What's that? Racine Guillory. New running back, Coach Lang. Like I said, these guys I'm talking about now, y'all, these are guys that were sought out after Coach Lane Kiffin and his staff. Right. This running back, he's originally from Texas. Last year, he's young. He's 18. He just signed with Utah last season. I don't have his stats, but we have him now.
Have we heard anything about Lacey, running back from Ole Miss?
What I heard about him is he's doing a great job at practice. That's what I'm telling you. Now, CL, I know he had to interrupt me for that question, but that's a good question he had. He's getting ready for college football playoffs, which full circle makes our point. That date needs to get pushed back. Right. Jackson,
SEC?
What'd you say?
Is he the best running back in the SEC?
He's the best running back in the SEC that's still playing. You see what I'm saying? Nice. It's one of those situations. This is welcome to the NFL. Lamar Jackson out of there, right? Yeah. You got some people. We was talking about Baker Mayfield for he out of there. You know what I'm saying? Cancun was him. Jackson Harris from Hawaii. What you think about him? They LSU signed him as well.
He had a solid season at Hawaii. He had almost 1,000 yards, double-digit touchdowns on like 50 catches. So he had a really solid season at Hawaii this past year. I think he could potentially be a good fit in Lane Kiffin's system. And I saw a little bit of tape on him. He looks like he got some wheels a little bit of a speedster in him. Right. So I kind of like him. I like that signing.
Yeah. See, I don't really got too many questions on the offensive side of the ball with Coach Kiffin. Here's another guy that he went sought after him and his staff. Right. Like, hey, we want him come from Hawaii. Hey, Baton Rouge turn two.
And that's my thing. I love Baton Rouge, but we realize Baton Rouge is in the South, and that it gets sweltering hot in Baton Rouge during the fall. I couldn't imagine leaving the beautiful confines of Hawaii, Honolulu to be exact. By the grace of God, I've been there. To leave Hawaii and come to the mainland, and to leave Hawaii and move to Baton Rouge,
Man, we got so much to unpack with this, y'all. We got a few more minutes here. LSU offensive lineman Cohen Eccles, he did sign to Texas A&M. So that's somebody who had committed to the portal. Here's a guy who got playing time at LSU. and could be making his mark as well. So we didn't have enough time to get to Tulane, but definitely want to continue to follow up with y'all on those different things in that regard.
It's changing
It's
as
changing.
we speak. It's a truly, not necessarily a work in progress, but it's a changing dynamic daily.
What you think is the biggest challenge, I guess, on a player? There's so many
Answering
things.
your phone.
Yeah.
You can't miss a phone call. You don't know who that is calling.
Yeah.
You can't play no game.
Representation matter. What you
yes,
think,
sir.
Chris?
Yes, sir.
For the players, what you think the biggest challenge?
The biggest challenge, you talk about
And it's like a player that's contemplating going in the transfer portal and makes that decision. What you think is his biggest challenge? I know Chris said making sure you buy that phone because you're in free agency and it's I think 6,700 guys in the transfer portal right now.
I also have another one. Don't make this an emotional decision.
Right.
Yeah.
And for me, I would say the biggest challenge would be knowing if you like the school, if you like the city, if you like the culture, and how far are you away from family and stuff like that.
Man, fellas, I think both of those are pretty good. I got to echo all of that. I would say all of the above, too. But the best thing, I think the biggest thing is finding the right fit. Once you get in the transfer portal, you got to make sure your next move the best move, baby. And I want to make sure your next move the best move, too, baby. So y'all make sure y'all stay in tune right here inside the trenches. Big ups to our sponsor for sponsoring this segment, Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Get Gordon and get it done, baby. 504-800-8888. Y'all don't go nowhere. We got great guests coming join us. We got Dr. Kendra coming join us. Also, Oliver Mitchell from Tulane. Y'all don't go nowhere. It's Inside the Trenches right here on ESPN Baton Rouge. Hello.
Yo, what's good, man?
I'm up here. Where you at?
Say, bro, look, do what you gotta do, man. Get all the rooms together, get everything straight. Let's get this thing going. I'm on my way up now. I'm getting in the elevator. Go! What's up, man?
Where you been is the question.
Look, bro, how you ain't let them in the room already? Come on, man, let's go. Say, bro, come on. Brandon, set them up.
Let me know if y'all need it.
Yo, get my mouse, please.
How's it looking? Man, it's fire, bro. Man, you want to take a listen?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm at the spot. I'm at the spot. I'm at the spot. I'm at the top. I'm at the spot.
All right, man.
You good?
Put your dough on, blow, put your flow on.
I need the mouse. Dude, I can't keep using the magic mouse.
Pull up, get it poppin'.
The
Pull
mouse.
up, get it
Come on, bro.
You already know
Pull
Steven
up, get
had it.
it poppin'.
Man.
Pull up, get it poppin'. I'ma pull up, get it poppin'. Pull up, get it poppin'. If you ain't got my money, it's a pull up, pull up, pull up. Woo! Pull up, get it poppin'. 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 I'ma pull up, get it poppin'. Pull up, get it poppin'. If you ain't got my money, it's a. Now you can say I got options, yeah. I could sell beats, still gon' profit, yeah. I could sell wet to a faucet, yeah. Still need to save off from barter, yeah. Way that we do it not fair, yeah. Tell all the Russians to call it, yeah. Wearing some glasses worth chains, ain't a damn thing, change. Tryna maintain, puff on the damn string. For the head pain, y'all be reverting to cane or lean or something that I don't need in my veins. I'ma go sober, but first I'll hang. Getting uplifted through Mary Jane as I fade away, yeah.
Well, hello, somebody. It's time to move your body. Dr. Kendra wasn't able to make it in today. She said she's gonna join us next week. I was
Real
not
doctor.
I wasn't for real. I wasn't upset. I was ready to taste the new products.
CMOS.
But definitely, y'all be sure to visit her website, stillbody.org. Shouts out to Health Nut System for being a proud sponsor of Inside the Trenches.
Definitely.
Love her. Love everything her and her family does. Has been a big contributor to my life in regards to nutrition. I know CL can probably second that.
Oh, yeah.
But she has really been helpful and she could be helpful to you too. So visit stillbody.org. Get your body right. It's the winter months. We gotta make sure we're straight. Winter months also mean transfer portal. I think we should dive right back into this. I did incorporate in the conversation that high school recruiting to contact period had came open. And CL, I know you were making a point about like some of the different challenges that the college and the high school students and the coaches and everybody have, but we will focus on the players before we went to the break. Right. These are young men, and to be quite honest with you, I don't care if it isn't Conquer Sports Pros or if it's somebody else. We are living in a time frame where these guys need to be advised properly. Right. They need to have the right team around them.
Yeah, I mean, proper representation is always at its forefront. It's unfortunate that these young men, a lot of young men, they go into it blindly. They're not very versed in transfer portal situations. They might have a friend that might have transferred. They might have a former teammate that transferred. But to each man, it's a different experience because it's a different level of wants and needs. Like Fave said at the end of the last segment, it's about a fit. But how do you find that fit? Because I even have questions. Are they able to visit the schools?
Yeah.
Do they? But do you have time? How much time do you have on your hands to visit? Maybe 5 schools.
It's NFL speed. I can share this story to answer CL's question because I'm just watching this now. I mean, I'm in close contact with Albert Stamps and Ashton Stamps and that family. They're playing in North Carolina. They're traveling somewhere else today. Oh, wow. So that, to answer your question, it's NFL-type travel. Wow. And it's an NFL-type process, period. I mean, there's no other way to look at it besides that, y'all. But CL, these are solid questions y'all should ask, too. That's a good question. Like, because of the time frame, how are they doing that, right? And that leads to another thing, Chris. We talk about pros and cons of this whole NIL, transfer portal, recruiting process, being able to transfer here and all of the bells and whistles, right? We talk about the challenges for the players. My question for you is, let's switch gears a bit here. What about the coaches? I know we use Coach Lane Kiffin as an example, right? He had to make this decision. Like it was which that has to change. We have to let the college football playoffs, all that stuff be over. Yeah. Then hiring can start. So technically right now, Verge Alsbury and President Roos and everybody will still be on the hunt right now. Right. They'll still be on the hunt right now looking for their coach. What Coach Kiffin in mind? Now, with that being said, I'm pretty sure at that point the conversation would have happened with his agent and our representation. Like, he wants a job, if you guys could. But we got to wait because we can't make a hire until what is the college was the 13th? No, that's this weekend, so it's the 20th. 21st, don't mind me, y'all. Y'all could probably Google it for me and just probably hit me up with the date. I just don't have it open on my phone. But basically 2 weeks from this weekend, a week from this weekend, is going to be the national championship. The next day, coaches could get hired, transfer portal opens, all of that. Now all of that stuff happens because now it's time to part ways, little Chris.
And if all of that does happen, like, coaches can choose wherever they want to go after the national championship, all that stuff. The Lane Kiffin saga never happens. But unfortunately, that's not how it went. The Lane Kiffin saga, it was a rough ending there, unfortunately. And that's definitely like the cons of everything. Just coaches have to choose what school they have to coach early. Right. Early signing date, that's affected by transfer portal, that's affected by. And that's why, like, I agree with you. That's why we have to, like, celebrate these GMs and these administrators, sports ADs that
travel coordinators.
Yes, like
pretty much not a real spill.
That they have to like move fast, NFL speed, NFL GM mindset type of deal.
Listen, these hires are important in colleges now. Right. CEOs, GMs, associate GMs, the scouting departments turned up even more because you have collective NIL specialists. You have guys that's, directly go and talk to the parents, and that, you start talking about guys like Pete Golding and Frank Wilson and Ed Ogeron. Like, these guys know how to go sit in the living rooms,
Right.
know how to, get the parents interested in.
Which is somewhat a lost art, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, listen, CL, bro, and it shouldn't be lost because that is the fabric of the team. It was having guys like Lance Thomason come sit down in my living room to build rapport with me and my family with LSU. And, hey, man, they put that pressure on you, too. Got a couple other guys we're looking at. So,
Right.
I mean, the pressure is on both ways, but now that's on 10 now. Because, I mean, right now, y'all, it's about roughly anywhere north of 5,000 players in the transfer portal right
Easily.
now. Easily. Now, we're just doing simple math, right? You got the Power 4 teams, right? That's 4 different conferences. Yeah. You got the SEC, the ACC, the Big 12, and the Pac-10 or Pac-18, whatever it is now. What is? I'm sorry. The Big 10 got 20-some teams in it.
Big 10,
Yeah. So you got all of these teams, right? The roster space. Right. You're looking at 100 players or whatever the case. I'm just saying whatever. Starters. It's only 11 starters on all the phases. Yeah. Where are y'all gonna go? So that's why even as my team and we advise players all the time, pump the brakes. Is the coach saying you could compete? Now, if the coach saying, man, it's probably best you hit the portal, man, it's probably best you hit the portal.
Hit that.
But if it's competing, like, oh, you're looking for an answer, I'm going to start. No, come compete.
Right.
Come compete for a starting job. The best players are going to play. If you can't, I'll just say, the entire time we're at LSU, 3 years I was a rotational starter. It wasn't just like I'm the definite starter because he good too, and he might have had a few better plays than me that week. So my goal next week is going to be to have the best plays, and that's how you supposed to compete. So
it's changed now.
It's changed. Like
it's changed.
Advisory is needed now, y'all. Like, I can't explain to y'all how bad this is because everybody won't make the next move, next move right away. Talk to your coach, see what the play is, and then for the guys who were this extraordinary player in high school, but you seem basic at the college you went to that you might have been. Be okay with Group of 5 schools.
Yeah,
and I think that's the biggest issue. We all grow up and we all know, there's the blue blood schools and there's the top 5 schools and the power conference school. And we all, everybody loves the school that they love. Charles Barkley said this years ago. It makes more sense to go somewhere where you're going to play.
Yeah.
Because sitting on a bench, wondering what could have happened, because that's what'll drive you crazy, that you made the wrong decision to the wrong school and now you lost a year eligibility. So, like Faye says, you do need to pump your brakes and really assess the situation as is. I don't even understand how, if a college is looking at your tape at, say, Hawaii, and maybe y'all don't even run the same coverages, y'all don't run the same defense, but they have to guess that you can fit their scheme and be successful in their scheme. So it's a tremendous mind-blowing situation, because what happens if the coach is wrong? The kid suffers, not the coach. Now, granted, if it goes all the way bad, the coach get fired. But what I'm saying is, as an individual, it's next to impossible for the coach to have everybody best interest in mind.
And that's why fits are important. I think finding the best fit is more important than anything. Sometimes players are getting recruited because they're the 5 stars, the 4 stars, whatever. They're going to these schools for the name and not the fit. Yeah. And that plays a major role too. And to your point, the coaches do play a role. They have to make sure that the fit is right and the player is right, and they don't need to get caught up in the sauce because, I mean, let's be honest, some of the scouting got lazy over the years too. It's not like it used to be. Yeah, everybody, sometimes you bring a player in your program, you thought he might have been a good fit. He wasn't, so y'all go the opposite way. So I like that part of the transfer portal. I like the part where a guy gets in the portal basically because the fit that he had before wasn't it. And in addition to that, you have to be realistic with yourself, young players. You do. You have to know how to, I say this all the time, know how to evaluate yourself. Put yourself in a position where you know how to do the eval yourself and you're not dependent on outsiders. You the one at practice every day.
Right.
You know the plays he making versus the plays you making. And football is a game of interest across the board. So if a guy is just a little bit better on one end, that don't mean that does mean that week the coach may have to go with that because everybody has a responsibility. Everybody has to do well. Now here's the point I want to make to y'all. All right. Before it was okay to go to a school and take your time and develop at that school. In today's game, you got to be able to go where the money is. So it's no more selling, hey, come to our school and give you opportunity. You come on as a PWO,
Yeah, they ain't having that.
Yeah, such and such.
Exactly that.
You're going to pay this year and then, compete in the spring. No. That's not how this is going at these power fours and these group of fives. Now, D2s, D3s, NAIA schools, to a certain extent because, those guys don't have all the resources these big schools.
Yeah.
But if it's a school like Ohio State, they got the money.
Yeah.
Oh, for
And
sure.
if they ain't talking cash flow, you got to go.
You gotta
Yeah.
go.
That's to make it simple, right? So what I tell players, so let's say for instance a player come to me or one of my staffers and he's like, man, I got the coach from McNeese hollered at me, the coach from Tulane hollered at me, LSU hollered at me, all of these schools. Okay, cool. What was the because it is a process.
Yeah.
So they're not, and now if you're 6'5", 300 pounds, you will get offered on the spot.
Like a dog.
But if you're a guy that they need to see more tape on, it takes time and it takes you developing and looking apart, looking at what they're looking for. So it starts there. Now, here's the catch. If they ain't talking about no money, it got to be funny. Straight up. If they're not saying, yeah, we'll bring you in, hey, we're talking about $150K, $200K. If they're not talking figures like that, it's not serious. Because we're in an era now, because of this NIL, because of the way business is conducted now in college football, you gotta for the coaches, you gotta get off the pot.
Right.
That's just the bottom line, little Chris.
Yes. And also, not only that, where you got to go like where the money is at, make the best decision for you and your family, and can you compete for the spot? But another question that these players have to ask themselves is, can this coaching staff and can this school, can they give you the best shot and put you in the best position to make your football career, like elevate your football career, elevate your legacy as a football player moving forward, even going from post-college going to the NFL? I think that's what all the players should ask themselves who's in the transfer portal right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd put something else on your brain. Think of the financial situation. Think of there's a young man that might not come from the best financial situation. So there's a pressure to get the best money or the highest money, and it might not be the best school and the best fit for him. He's really trying to sign and make as much money as he can because maybe he's trying to help his family out. Maybe, and family, unfortunately, family might be the worst thing sometimes when it comes to making the best decision for you. And
Third party.
And like I said, it's a tremendous, I wouldn't even call it a burden, but it's a tremendous decision that these young men have to make entering in this portal. And like Fave say, if they're not talking money from the door, then they really wasting your time. Because at this point, especially, of course, we know the guy is 6'5", 300 pounds. They're going to get all of you. It's so hard to make a decision for your future when these kids can't see past 3 years, 4 years, 2 years, 2 months. Then you have the pressure from the families. You have the pressure from the schools. You have the pressure from NIL because everybody wants the most money. Everybody wants to get signed by Ty Graves, but there's only so many signings that he's gonna have. So it's just a rough situation all the way around. And I wish these kids the best, as well as the parents, as well as the coaches, because it's truly a pickle that they're all in right now.
I want to share this with them as we wrap here. We'll be joined by Oliver Mitchell. Obviously he's a player at Tulane right now, and he's basically had his freshman year, got a little burn his freshman year, and he's not in the portal. He's at Tulane ready to go through. So I'm just interested in like knowing what his freshman year was and stuff like that. So we'll get into the Q&A with Ollie here in a second. But for the player who may be flying under the radar, at O'Para Walker, they had a guy by the name of Keenan Lewis and Mike Wallace. Mm-hmm. Now, even though both of those players went Division I, they wasn't highly sought out after players.
Right.
And back then, recruiting was different. You know, you come in, get a guy, develop him. And let's just be honest, Louisiana players are just different. But in this new day, in this new era, it's important for you to trust the process. See, the new Division I school, Division I AA, is those D2 schools and those junior colleges. Throughout this process, I had a college coach tell me, head coach too, he said, man, I would rather get a guy who comes from a Division II school that got 300-400 plays, snaps, in live games, versus the player who was sending him practice tape from LSU. And I stopped for a second because I've seen that play work. I've seen a play where a player went to LSU, or in LSU, I'll say that, and he didn't get a lot of snaps. He was a walk-on, but he had practice tape, and, you know, bowl games happen. He got a couple snaps in the bowl game, was able to use that content to go to a G5 school. But my thing is, there is a path, Trinidad Chambliss. There is a path from a Division II school, Division III, wherever, to top-end college football and or the NFL. See, I had a teammate by the name of Pierre Gonson who went to Mount Union. Chris, do you care to share with me what division Mount Union is in? Take an educated guess. You're a Loyola student.
Division III.
Ding, 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 ding. He answered it correct. It is a Division III school. He got drafted in the 6th round. I went to big-time LSU. I was undrafted free agent. Y'all get what I'm saying? Trust the process.
Indianapolis.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, go so.
But he got drafted to 6th round in Indianapolis, correct?
Yeah,
and then signed the 40 burger with Commanders.
I'm familiar.
You see what I'm saying? So, and he went to a D3. So I'm saying this, and I hadn't been in the NFL locker where I didn't have a teammate from a D2 or a D3. Scouts have work to do. They go to games. It's about fits. Coaches tell them what they need, and it's their job to go get it. You just make sure you position yourself to be it by having sound technique, by trusting the process. Just because you don't go to LSU or Ohio State or Texas like your teammate, that don't mean your road to success from an Arkansas Monticello or smaller school or smaller FCF school or Hampton or Bethune-Cookman, HBCU, or Southern University. Shouts out to my homie, Benny Logan, got the D-line job there. He coached at that Concord Sports Lineman Clinic last year. CJ, Coach CJ from Tulane, New Orleans Saints, and the Houston's UFL team is also the GM over at Southern. So I like the hires that Coach Marshall Falk has been doing. We'll get to get him on the show soon.
Yeah, definitely. Shouts out to Coach Falk as well, a great night wall representative.
All day. You know, took a shot on life himself. Went to San Diego State, earned the job, and looked back since. So you can do it. San Diego State, Group of 5 school, not no big-time school, right? So I say that and all to say keep pushing yourself. Don't reduce yourself to, if it's not Northwestern State or a school like Oregon, I'm not worthy. No, those players may have developed a little faster. They may be bigger, and they may be more of the fit, but you keep working, you'll be it. I know somebody who's working, His name's Oliver Mitchell, baby. Plays wide receiver at Tulane. He'll be joining us here next on Inside the Trenches. Y'all don't go nowhere, baby. We'll be back on ESPN Baton Rouge. Hello, somebody.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Football player who's tired of waiting on college coaches to notice you? What if I told you there's a way to get real colleges to reach out to you with scholarship offers and a financial package? If you are a junior or a senior who is serious about playing football on the next level and having school paid for, well, this video for you. Hello, somebody. Let me introduce myself. My name is Marlon Big Fave Favorite. As a defensive lineman, I won a national championship with LSU in 2007 and then won a Super Bowl championship with the New Orleans Saints in 2009. Today, I'm a part of a broadcasting team who does the pre- and post-game analysis for the LSU Tigers. You might catch me on other media outlets talking sports as well. But here's what I'm mostly passionate about. My real job is running Conquer Sports Professionals. At our New Orleans and Baton Rouge's facilities, we specialize in elite training for high school and college-bound football players. We provide position-specific training, strength and conditioning, and speed training to help our athletes dominate on the field. But that's just part of what we do. The big part of what we do is we help high school football players secure offers to play college football and pay for their education. Here's the reality most players face. High school coaches just don't have enough time to do all the recruiting work that you need. You show up to 7-on-7s and camps, hoping some coaches will notice you out of 500-some kids. What usually happens is you waste your entire weekend because nobody was actually watching you. Most guys just throw their applications into a void, hoping something sticks. That's not strategy. That's gambling with your future. Here's where we're different. We have a network of 1,000 coaches and scouts representing every level of college football from Division I FBS, FCS, Division II, Division III, NAIA, and junior colleges. We start with a complete skill assessment. We discuss your football and your educational goals. Then, based off your talent, we personally contact coaches and scouts who are looking for exactly what you bring to the table. We don't send out emails. We make direct, personal contacts. Why does our approach work so well? Because me and my team here at Conquer has years of experience in the sports world. Our network is broad and vast, and we can get you in front coaches and scouts who can offer you a spot. Here's what this means for you. Number one, you never have to worry about what to say, how to say it, or when to say it. You just show up, play your best, and let the results take care of themselves. Number two, when a coach responds, we personally prep you for each call and visit. We walk you through what to expect, what to say, and how to make a strong first impression. Our team of former NCAA and NFL players manages the outreach, sending and replying to messages every single day. This makes it almost impossible not to get noticed by a college program. But we don't just reach out randomly. We write messages to show real intent, why you like their school, references to their program, and their academic reputation. We make it personal, real, and human. We have direct contacts and relationships with the decision makers. So a coach just don't see a name or a stat. They see you, a player that belongs in their locker room, and they trust that we will only send players that fits their program. Now, I can't cover everything in this short video, but if you like what you heard so far, or if you're even a little bit interested, click the link below and book a call with our team. Worst case scenario, you leave with a clear plan on how to control your recruiting process. Best case scenario, we work together and you sign a college offer with a scholarship. And if it doesn't work, we'll keep on working. We'll find a way to get you somewhere. There are tons of opportunities out there, and we'll help you discover them. So is this worth 30 minutes of your time? Absolutely. The only real risk is doing nothing and watching another season go by without hearing from a school you should be playing for. Even if you're unsure or on the fence, book a call anyway. The application just takes minutes. And if we can't help you, we'll let you know right away. Click the link below and we'll see you on the call. Hello, somebody.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Welcome back to Inside the Trenches. It's your host, Marlon, Big Fave Favorite. And we want to take this time to thank our sponsor, baby. That's right, Health Nut System. Dr. Kendra, baby. Health Nut System. Hit them up. Go ahead and follow them right now. Dr. Kendra on Instagram. Dr. Kendra Andrews on Instagram. And go to stillbody.org. Get your products. I got to talk to our next guest on. She got the new products for the athletes. All natural products.
All natural.
Everything you need for your body. The sea moss. The sea moss hit too, boy. I had that pineapple sea moss.
Good.
Put that thing in the freezer, boy, like ice cream. I'm telling you. Get yourself right. Holler at Dr. Kendra. You know, it's the winter months, baby. We got to make sure we stay healthy and right. I know somebody who stays healthy and right, and he ball out too, baby. Played at Etna Carr High School, one of the best high schools here in the state we've seen over the last decade. So they fork them out. I mean, this year they signed 15 players, and last year they signed about 15, 20 players. One of those guys that happened to sign was number 80 for Tulane University right now, my man Oliver Mitchell. Oliver, welcome to the show, baby.
Welcome, brother. Welcome. Welcome.
So y'all make sure y'all follow my brother 2_5 problems with the 2 Z's on the end. I want to start there. I mean, I'm gonna let CL do his thing next, but I want to go back to your senior year at Edna Carr. Like, I want to say that was the bounce back year, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all guys came into the Catholic League. It was a little rough at first, but Carr got right back on what they do. I guess talk to our viewers about that season and what it was for you.
My senior season, like, our motto that season was reclaim. So, like, we was the first team in the new building to bring a championship to that school. So it was like, it meant a lot to us, because first off, like, we ain't winning in about 4 years. So my senior year, like, we was like, we gotta do it. We gotta be the ones. Like, and we had that mindset, like, we not gonna be denied, and like, that's what it was. Like, every team that came on our tracks, like, we put about 60 on them every week. And like, we had the big 3, like me, Manchild, and then we had Dede. So like, it was really an unstoppable force. Like, our offense, like, would not be denied. Like, and then we had our defense, this 2026 class, some monsters. Richard Anderson, Aiden Hall, Maurice. They got Mo. They got Torrance. They got Kevin Martin, Kylan. Like, they got some dogs. Like,
Can't forget about brother.
You know it, Corey Adams. You hear me?
Yeah.
Of course. Like, he was really the glue. Like, he was the glue behind that whole thing. Like, he was the muscle. Like, we called him the muscle. Like, he kept everything together. Like, he made sure everybody was in line. Like, everybody was on one accord. And like, it sucks that he no longer here with us. But like, his impact will last forever. Like, his impact he had on his brothers and the people around him. Like, that's gonna last forever. Like, that's gonna last a lifetime. Like, his legacy is gonna forever live on. And another thing, like, me, Ace, like, a couple of guys, like, that was really, really close with him. Like, we said we're gonna keep his legacy alive. Like, his legacy is gonna now live through us, and I live by that. I told his mom, like, I was like, no matter what the situation is, I'm gonna make sure, like, I'm always represent Corey. And I'm when I do make it to the NFL, like, when that day does come, I'm gonna definitely make sure, like, everybody know, like, his name. Like, everybody's gonna know, like, his name is gonna walk across that stage. Like, so yeah.
It's real.
You know, we know that you went to Carr. We know that you're an uber talented athlete. What was not every college athlete that's uber talented go to a great school signs early. What was it like to sign early to Tulane?
Soon as I got the Tulane offer, like, that was my first real Division I offer. Like, I had the first one was Colin, that was Jugo, and then it came back with Tulane. So like, that was my second offer and my first Division I offer. So like, in my head, I'm like, dang, that's Tulane. Like, that's big. Like, off rip.
Sure.
So when I got that, I'm like, okay, I like this. Like, then more offers start rolling in. And then my senior year came around, like, that's June 13, I believe I signed. Committed. Verbally, I committed to him. And, like, my mindset was, like, if I don't build a connection with other coaches like I got with these coaches here, like, that's going to be the pit. That's gonna be where I go. Because I'm all about connections. I'm all about, like, relationships. And in today's game, like, it's hard to build that with coaches. I'm not gonna lie, because the transfer portal, like, they got guys in and out. So like, you know, like, it don't matter who you are. Like, as a player, you know who is real and who's fake. Like, and you can see right through it instantly. So I felt like that connection with Coach Carter, Coach Summy, like, he got a great job at Florida now, but we done got a new hire, a great man, like, and an even better coach, like Coach Will Hall. Like, he's amazing. Like, and that's coming from a player, like, that had only known him for a year. Like, he's amazing. Like, his coaching skills and, like, his ability to help you learn something every time you step in his presence is tremendous. Like, it's crazy. Like, so I give huge kudos to him. Like, he's an amazing coach. But going back to your question, the early signing day, like, build a connection with the coach and stuff like that. Like, and as soon as I signed early, I'm like, yeah, like, this is the spot. Like, this is where I want to be. And I got on campus, like, everything ran smooth. Like, it was like, the transition was, like, so smooth. Like, it wasn't no hard, like, because a lot of kids, like, when they leave early, like, they leave for college at all, like, the biggest problem for them is trying to find time. And, like, I feel like I always had pretty decent time management, so, like, that part went smooth. So other than that, like, everything was smooth. Like, all I had to do was go play football and be on my schoolwork. Like, that's something I do anyway. So it was like, it was no major change, but the biggest change was attention to detail. I mean, like I feel like the little things matter most at this level, like because everybody on this level is pretty much got great athletic ability.
Right.
So like it really depends on if you're gonna beat him with technique or you're just that freakish of an athlete. Like that's really all it is. Like if you just that guy gifted where you could just it don't matter what route you run, you just gonna come down with it every time. Then hey, but some guys not as talented. And some guys don't got that guy gifted ability, so they have to rely on technique. So.
If y'all just tuning in to Inside the Trenches, baby, we're joined by Oliver Mitchell, number 80 at Tulane. And we talked about the number might change next season, but for right now, that's where he is. Y'all be sure to follow him on Instagram, _5_problems. Great kid. I've been knowing Ollie for years and excited about this year. Your freshman year, you get to Tulane, as CL asked you how the early signing period was. You go through that first semester. But then y'all go through that year. Man, Tulane really held it down for the state this year.
Sure.
We talked about that a lot on the show. A whole lot about y'all just really keeping it together with LSU struggling and Saints struggling. Like Tulane was that.
Y'all was our beacon.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
No doubt.
Your freshman year out the gate having success, being able to take Tulane to their first college football playoff appearance, man. What that was like?
First off, it was an unreal experience. First off, like being a freshman in college and being able to go experience the level of the college football players like that, it was a tremendous environment. Like the atmosphere was like it was amazing, like all around. I feel like the reason we was able to get that far is because the camaraderie of the team. Like everybody on that team was close. Like everybody on that team, like we had almost like a little meetings. Like the captains met, and I was one of those players on the team were like, I'm not gonna say captain, but I'm gonna say leaders on the team where I was able to sit in that room and as a freshman and sit back and kind of be a sponge to all the older guys that already had the experience and like how they led. Cause like I know like I'm a verbal leader too. Like I love to lead by my action, but I also love to speak up too. So me being able to see how they lead and only being a freshman at the time, so it's helping me going into this year on how I'm going to help this team and lead the room. You feel me? Ongoing this 26 season. So like, it was an amazing experience. Like, had a lot of great moments. Had some bumps in the road, but ultimately, like, all great teams going to have bumps in the road. It all depends on how you respond and how you bounce back from it. Like that UTSA game. Like, we played a big game the next week, which was Memphis. And I'm going to bring y'all back to Coach Hall. He had an amazing speech on response. Respond. Like, and like I felt like his speech like kind of gave us that extra edge going into that game because like he spoke on everybody like having their own issues and their own problems and their own like situations going on, but like still being able to respond and still being able to like bounce back from all those adversities that they had faced. So once again, like Coach Will Hall, he's an amazing coach, and I feel like that team like was all like so glued together. Like that's why we went so far like we did this year.
Well, we so grateful for you to choose Tulane and stay close to us so we could see you and watch you play. You went through your freshman year, you're going into your sophomore year. What are your expectations for this year with your new head coach and probably having a new quarterback as well? What is your expectations for this year?
First off, I want to start the year strong with becoming a real great leader on this team. That I'm already kind of that, but I want to take it a step further. That's for one. The next part is the plan part. Like I want to try to solidify myself as a reliable, not only reliable, but like a person that is always available and they could count on at any moment in the game. Like if the players need it, like we know Oliver is gonna come down with this catch. Like I want to cement myself as that type of player on this team, and like, cause I feel like that's how it was at Car. Like anytime they needed to play, like they was able to go to me, and I'm coming down with it no matter what. So I want to build that trust and within the coaches, where they know, okay, go to Oliver. Like it don't matter what route it is, like go to him. Like we know he's gonna come down with it. And I want to build that trust within my quarterback as well. Whenever and whoever that is.
Right.
So
that's very important in the transfer portal era.
Oh, for sure.
Whoever that is. Let's go back to your freshman year. From what I understand, you burned your red shirt.
Oh yes, I did.
So what that playing experience was like? Because I always think back to my senior year at West Jeff and the conversations I had with Dwayne Bowe, Craig Davis. Those guys played that freshman year with LSU. They didn't have a major role like Michael Clayton, but they contributed. And I know for you, you contributed this year heavy. So what that experience was like, any big plays you remember or just moments you can tell us from?
I feel like this season was more like a get comfortable with being on the field. Like, I ain't really have no big players or anything like that, but I feel like it got me comfortable in my own skin playing on this level. Like,
you had targets?
Yeah, I had like
couple catches.
Yeah, I had 2 catches.
That's fire. No, that's dope, bro. Production.
More than me.
Yeah.
More than me.
But like I feel like that right there, like that's getting me comfortable in my own skin, comfortable like to go out there and make the big plays when my name is called. Because like going into this, I feel way more comfortable like than I did coming in last year, as I should. Because I know I'm gonna have to fill a way bigger role. And like you said, when you was going into your freshman year, like you looked at those guys who like played their freshman year and didn't have the biggest impact, but they got comfortable and later on during their playing days, like I'm pretty sure they had a humongous impact.
They went first round, both of them.
Exactly.
Right.
So I feel like my freshman and Javion White, he played as a freshman, and he had a huge role this year. He entered the transfer portal, a dog, like monster. So I feel like me playing my freshman year, like it's gonna be a key to me being real successful later on down the line. Because don't get me wrong, I know a lot of guys that redshirt their freshman year and still are successful and stuff like that. But I feel like having that playing experience like early right now, like at a young age, and being able to like soak up all the knowledge I can, being on the field, like it's a little bit more valuable to me.
Well, I mean, we're very familiar that Tulane picked the right cat to put on their team. Not just on the field, but also off the field. He's always had leadership. I mean, I've been watching him, in the stands for a very long time, and he's always been that vocal leader, and I'm so proud of you.
Appreciate that.
You have teammates that have decided to hit the transfer portal. Have you had any conversations with any of the players? And what is that type of situation? How did they come to that decision, and what was that conversation like?
I have had a couple conversations with some of the guys. I'm not gonna say their names.
Right. Yeah,
of
cool.
course. Yeah.
But I feel like the ultimate decision came to like playing time for one, and then some of the cats that played here, like they feel like they were worth more. And with the transfer portal, like they getting bagged, like they getting paid.
They getting bagged.
You feel me? So like it's hard for a 19-year-old kid, 18-year-old kid to deny $250,000 somewhere, 400,000 something. Like that's a lot of money for an 18-year-old.
That's a lot of money for a regular person.
That's a lot of money in general. Feel me? Like, so it's like for them to have that kind of money offered to them and to say no, like it takes a lot of like a strong mentality and a very strong mental to be like, no, I want to stay here and keep building and keep working because I know I can build something here. Like back in the day, like y'all used to stay there and build.
Yeah.
Like,
we had no choice.
You feel me? Exactly. Like y'all used to stay there and build. Like I feel like in today's game, like they don't do that because they know like it's always gonna be more money somewhere else. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's all within like whether you have a great relationship with them coaches or you rather start from a ground up and then work your way up because some kids like they just gonna have money for right now and then they're gonna have some cats that's gonna have wealth. So it's like it's just the mentality of the thing. Like it's just the outlook on things, like how you look at it, your point of view. So that's what the main like takeaway I've seen from a lot of guys that enter the transfer portal, in my opinion.
I want to compare and contrast here. If y'all just tune in to Inside the Trenches, we're joined by Oliver Mitchell, wide receiver for the Tulane Green Wave. Our saving grace here in Louisiana the past year. His freshman year, as he just talked to us about, had an opportunity to play against Ole Miss. They wasn't successful, but they were able to play in the college football playoffs. And it's just an honor. Great to see this young man from Park Ball High School to college and going into his sophomore season. So, Ollie, we talk about a competitive day, just like one of the hot summer days at Edna Carr, y'all best cornerbacks, y'all best receivers, and then you going to Tulane going against hot summer day, same city best.
Same
Is it
humidity.
a big difference?
I wouldn't say a big difference, but I feel like I said, like the little details matters. Like I feel like the corners on the next level, like they are so tuned in on the little details because they have to be like you get fried a couple times on this level, like you're not gonna play that much in a game, and playing that much in this game, like on this level, it matters because NFL scouts are looking at film. Like at the end of the day, like they trying to see what can you do against some of the best guys. You feel me? Like no offense, but a lot of the time, like the NFL scouts, when you play in the SEC, they not looking at the games you played against FCS school. Like they not really looking at that. They looking at who you played in the Big Ten, the SEC. Like they looking at who you played against that was the best of the best.
Right.
And what did you could do against them. So on like that's how I kind of feel about that. But I'm not gonna lie, the guys at Carr, like they was dogs. Like it's a reason.
It's competitive every day, yeah.
You feel me? Like and I feel like it was a little bit more competitive because we knew each other. Like we was like brothers. So it's like when you play fighting in the house with your brother, you trying to whoop him.
Yeah.
Trying to whoop him.
Yeah.
Like you're not trying to have him go around, I beat my big brother. No, you're not trying to hear that.
Yeah, that's real.
So
rap.
you trying to knock his head off every play. And you gonna tell him, look, what you gonna do about it? You feel me? So like at Carr, like we had that type of competitive nature in us, and like it was instilled in us. Like Bryce, he instilled that into us. Like we was gonna play the best of the best every day, and like we're the best of the best. Like we was the best in the state.
You are inside the trenches, first athlete interview to have played in the college football playoff.
That's history right there, baby.
That's history, baby. Yeah.
Right there,
That's
baby.
real rap. Good points, yeah.
What does that feel like to actually not just have a successful season, but to actually make the college playoffs with your team that comes from the same city you were born in? What did that feel like? Bring us back to that.
I feel like it was a huge impact on the city, first off, because coming from the city, like, this city is built off resilience. Like coming from Hurricane Katrina and all these other events that done transpired in the city, like, our city is known for resilience, and I feel like that Tulane team this year was dedicated to that. Like we had a Katrina game and all that. Like, the anniversary was this year.
Yes, sir.
So it was like exactly. So it's like this team this year, like it meant a lot more, because coming from the city, like seeing all the things like we done went through, seeing mom struggle, seeing pop struggle, all that other stuff like that, like seeing my friends like struggling at the same, like in the same circumstance I'm in, like it's like and it's, I feel like this with any city, like the sports is like what keeps the city alive, like what keeps
for sure.
you feel me? So it's like when the team in your state and you're on that team is doing amazing and bringing light to the city, like it's like amazing, like it's just a sigh of relief. Like you able to sit back and be a part of and contribute to a team that's bringing hope and light to the city. Like Faye said, like we was really the only like.
Oh, for sure.
You feel me?
That was it, bro. That was
like,
all we had. Yeah, Tulane.
So it's like
Real.
being on that side, it felt amazing. Like no shots at LSU, but we wasn't really on LSU back like that this year. Like usually that's who back we on. Like that's who back we riding. That's who we on a high horse for. LSU.
We were riding y'all this year.
Oh,
Riding y'all
feel me?
coattails
The whole
this
state
year,
was
yeah.
riding.
It's like
Glad y'all wasn't on the schedule this year.
Ooh.
Look at Ollie won't play in Tiger
Yeah, he
Stadium,
won't.
bad.
Well, you know
Yeah, he won't go there and play too.
Yeah, oh, I already know.
He won't
Supposedly
show.
they gonna get that back together eventually.
Yeah, I mean, we played them back in 2007 during the Katrina remembrance year in the Superdome. I feel like they played Tulane after that too, but I just can't think about it. But I played against Tulane twice in college. Yeah, twice. So they got to bring it back. Ollie, every guest that come on our show, that's y'all camera right there.
Yes, sir.
Right now, you're talking to a different group, brother, because I watch you grind and work hard at Etna Car and do what you had to do to make it. It's a young, skilled player out there right now that want to be the next Oliver Mitchell, want to be able to be a wide receiver at Tulane on full scholarship. Right. Talk to that kid right there about that process and how you can make it there.
I want to start here. First off, be where your feet at. Don't ever try to jump the gun. Don't ever try to jump ahead because you see what somebody else got. You see what – because I ain't going to lie, at one point, like I was that kid that wanted to – had to find the things, like my friend had this, I wanted that too, but I want you to stay down, be consistent, and continue working hard. Like, I promise you, because I was that kid that was like, dang, like, am I going to get off? Because first off, I wasn't eligible my first 2 seasons of high school, going to Rumble in eligibility because I didn't stay in the area, and then transferring the card thinking I was going to play and still was not able to play because they said I wasn't in the area as well. So my first real season was my 11th grade year, and that was my first ever time playing varsity football because of where I came from and those things, like those that nature. But to be a kid from New Orleans that done seen it all, that done been through a lot, that done came from the ground up and built up, because I promise you I was in the most talented in the park, bro. I promise you I was in the most talented in middle school. But once I got to high school and seeing how to put the work in, like a saying that Coach Bryce Brown said, you got to know what you want and how to get it. Like, once I realized how to get it, the journey became a lot easier. Like, everything just start falling into place. So just trust the process. Like, don't fall in love with the result. Fall in love with the process, because I promise you the process is gonna be what takes you the distance. Like, it's gonna be what makes you get to the NFL or fulfill whatever dream you got going on. So that's what I got to see. Keep working, be consistent, and be where your feet at.
That was big time, man. Yes, indeed.
Right.
Well, look, he's Oliver Mitchell. Y'all make sure y'all follow him _5 problems with 2 Z's on the end. And be sure to check out the Tulane Green Wave this year. That young man's going to be out there scoring touchdowns. We know it, baby. I appreciate you so much for coming on the show.
Appreciate y'all.
Well, y'all don't go nowhere, baby, because we got to talk Saints. The season's finally over, so now it's time to look to the off season. Y'all stick around. We're going to talk about it right here on Inside the Trenches, baby, on ESPN Baton Rouge. Hello, somebody. Y'all don't go nowhere. We'll be back.
Inside the Trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the Trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Conquer Sports Professionals.
Hello, somebody. It's Marlon Big Fave Favorite, Super Bowl champion and national champion. Here's the truth. Almost anybody could play college football and get a scholarship or financial aid if they know who's looking for them. Now, you may not be a Division I or Division II football player, but that doesn't mean you can't play college football on the next level. There's hundreds and thousands of schools out there that's looking for football players like you to give you a great education. Right now, the average cost of school is $27,000 a year. That means that's $180,000 just to graduate. Imagine cutting that number down with a football scholarship or financial aid support. At Conquer Sports Pros, we find the right schools that fit you, your talent, your goals, and your future. And they will pay for your education through football. Don't waste time guessing. Let us connect you with coaches and programs that are already searching for players like you. If you're serious about playing football in college to pay for your education, click the link below or visit csportspros.com and schedule a call today. Hello, somebody.
Conquer Sports Professionals.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Well, hello, somebody. Welcome back to Inside the Trenches. I want to take this time to thank our guest, Oliver Mitchell, for coming on the show, Tulane's wide receiver. Y'all be sure to check him out this season. They're getting ready to get in their off-season training. Obviously, they're going through a lot of stuff with the portal and shaping the team. But big ups for Ollie for coming on the show. Definitely going to have to get him back on again. Also, big shout out to our sponsor, Conquer Sports Pros, baby. That's right. Visit csportspros.com. If you're looking for lineman training, specific training, position specs, O lineman, D lineman, we got you covered like a blanket in 2 locations. We train out at Elite Training Academy in Baton Rouge, and then we also train out at here in New Orleans at Bodies by Phil, 441 Peters Road. So definitely big ups to Conquer Sports Pros. And while we at it, want to give another shout out to Dr. Kendra for all that she does for the show.
Thank you, Doc.
Big ups to Doc. Probably looking forward to that CMOS tonight. Big ups to her for all her contributions to the show. Y'all visit stillbody.org for more information on our products. And then also, big shout outs to Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Remember, get Gordon and get it done, baby. 504-800-88. 2006 about to be an amazing year here for the firm in the New Orleans area and throughout the state. It got real yesterday and today for a lot of coaches. I mean, legit, Raheem Morris won the game against the Saints yesterday just to find out he was going to get fired.
4 hours later.
He wasn't the only one to see
Black Monday.
Black Monday. And I figured I had to start this segment off like this based off of what had happened. But yeah, Weezy's out of here. Then Pete Carroll.
One and done.
One and done. They got him up out of there. Once was great. We knew about, of course, Brian Callahan mid-season. They got him up out of there. And Brian Dable got him up out of there. Any other announcements, guys? Will we hear?
Isn't it Gannon in Arizona?
I'm sorry, Gannon. Coach Gannon. I figured that would have happened a long time ago. But
Kevin Stefanski.
Kevin Stefanski. He got fired.
Tennessee, Callahan?
Yeah, Callahan, Weezer was out of there mid-season. They got him up out of there. And it's just, look, y'all, it really is the climate across the board we're dealing with. We talked about this with college football. I mean, coaches get fired every year, mid-season, off-season, whatever the case may be, during the season in some cases.
Right.
But it's just a part of the nature. But just what we've seen this football season, the 2025-2026 football season, guys just, I mean, they fired James Franklin like midway of the season for Penn State. You know, we did fire Coach Kelly, Chris.
So Aaron Glenn for the Jets.
Yeah, well, they kept
him. Oh, I thought they kept him.
Yeah. Well, he was on a hot seat. Yeah. That's what happened, but he definitely on a hot seat just because, you know, when you have a losing season, that's just what it is. But I could tell you about a guy whose job is safe, and he's turning in the right direction.
Yes, sir.
And that is Coach Kellen Moore.
Yes, sir.
Newly hired coach. Although the season was a bit disappointing with the Saints finishing 6-11, you know, it wasn't what we thought. But those last 4 wins, as UP was just talking about, as he was going back in the production room, CL really played a major part.
Well, you know, I just want to sit here and I want to talk to the naysayers that sat in front of their little cameras and sat on their little sets and podcasts and mentioned that the New Orleans Saints would not win one game or win one game.
Right, that was a tough.
the level of disrespect, knowing that the New York Jets are still in the NFL, knowing that the Las Vegas Raiders are still in the NFL. But I digress. On this Black Monday, and never to make light of anyone losing their jobs, we all knew to a man that Raheem was going to be gone in Atlanta. I also predicted that Todd Bowles would be fired if they didn't make the playoffs. But fortunately, they made it. But if they get bounced out, he'll be gone too. Oh, yeah. So it's looking real positive for the New Orleans Saints moving forward as far as the division. Because once again, the division leader had 9 losses this year. Yeah. So the NFC South wasn't the best division anyway. So just to reiterate that the Saints really had a positive season. For sure. We found out who our future quarterback will be, and which is Tyler Shuck, a young man that was drafted in the 2nd round. So I believe, and I understand that we're very emotional in New Orleans. We have our feelings about things in New Orleans, but if you want to look at it the way you should look at it, this year's draft was a complete win. Oh yeah. From the 1st pick to the 7th round pick. So we're churning in the right direction. I'm happy for Shuck. I think they're gonna snub him for Offensive Rookie of the Year, but things are looking positive in New Orleans. That's for sure.
I did forget to mention a couple other fires from yesterday and today. Of course, Atlanta was just rolling. Terry Fontenot's out of there. Yeah. Fired him.
Yeah, a lot of people don't even realize Terry Fontenot was a Trojan horse that we sent to Atlanta.
Miami's GM Chris Greer, he's out of there. They parted ways. Cleveland was active. GM Andrew Berry is retained during the coach's search.
Stefanski gone.
Yeah, it Toby is out of there. Was retained. I'm sorry, with the Cleveland Browns. So, I mean, you got a couple of situations, y'all, where it was some thin ice, right? But at the same token, you had some opportunities out there for guys to start jumping in. Like the NFL's doing it the right way. For those guys, the season is over. Right. So go ahead and make your fires. I mean, you got some midway fires, but that's what interim head coaches are for. Yeah, but it's just one of them situations. CL, I'm gonna come to you first, y'all. We got about 5 more minutes here. I want to wrap on the Saints. We discussed this last week, but the season's officially over now.
Yes, sir.
You said the team got their quarterback.
Yes, sir.
The team looked like they got their defensive ends.
Yes, sir.
Where does this team, which direction does this team go next?
Well, I think we're churning. Like I said, I think we're churning in the right direction.
In terms of position needs, free agency.
Oh, for sure.
I'm sorry. Yeah, my bad.
My pleasure.
Let me clear that up.
Once again, we're very emotional in New Orleans. We love to a fault in New Orleans. I think the time has passed for Alvin Kamara. So I believe we need to be looking at a running back. We have the 8th pick overall. I would not have a problem if the New Orleans Saints selected Jeremiah Love, running back from Notre Dame as our lead back. Just because it's just that time. We did have some other guys that came off for practice squads that did pretty good. So imagine what the number 1 running back in college football would do and how it would help Tyler Shuck. We also need to address the wide receiver position. For the people that didn't understand the whole dynamic, we traded Rashid Shaheed because we weren't going to be able to re-sign him and Chris Olave. Yeah. We're probably going to have to give Olave closer to $27 to $30 million a year. He was on a rookie deal where he was already getting 15.9. So he's proven that he can be a solid wide receiver for us, stay healthy. Obviously,
a solid 2-1.
Well, I got into those arguments a couple of times. I'm not going to downplay my wide receiver. Think about what's around him. How easy is it to be a number 1? How difficult it is to be a true number 1 when the whole defense is focused on stopping you. Yeah. Yesterday showed us that he was pretty much one of our 1 to 2 weapons we only had left on the team. Yeah. We had guys, shouts out to Ronnie Bell for the one-handed catch, but we had guys coming out of the practice squad. Yeah. Guys that were selling Cox Cable, playing for us yesterday, and we only lose to the Falcons by 3 points. Charlie Smith hits that kick, we win by 1. So it's positive moving forward. It's positive.
It's positive. CL mentioned running back. that's pretty much where he left his focus at. And I'm with you on that one. I'm gonna make my comment here. Talk to me, bro. What you say?
Yeah, I just want to add on to that. Despite him having practice squad receivers out there, he still almost threw for 300 yards, which is kind of crazy against that Falcons defense that forced 3 interceptions on Matthew Stafford the week before. MVP candidate.
Very good.
So, me, definitely running back for sure. Wide receiver, I would like to get a Michael Thomas, Marcus Colston.
Wish list.
Which may turn into a number one.
Calvin Johnson, DeAndre Hopkins, Julio Jones type of possession receiver.
Right.
And I also would like to bulk up the offensive line some more, like the guard, particularly the guard position, because we got the tackles.
Yeah, we do.
For sure. We just got to build that guard position to protect Tyler Shuck and, protect the running backs, get that run game going. But I trust Kellen Moore with that for sure.
Yeah, I do too. And I think he started his running back room the way going in the right direction. I'm not opposed to departing ways with Alvin Kamara.
I'm not either.
But if he has to make it work, I understand it. But I slept on this because I was talking with my partner, I was talking with Toon, I was talking with Moolah.
Shouts out to Toon.
And shouts out to Moolah too, them dudes, I was running with them. I was gun-ho on if the lane is sitting there at 8 or wherever we pick, go get that lockdown corner. I'm cool with that. But if Jeremiah Love is there, you have another young, elusive player to go with a Tyler Shuck. Tyler Shuck's young. Yep. He's mobile. Design run, ran that thing in cool. We didn't see that from the New Orleans Saints in a very long process, Arch Manning.
Exactly.
So now we actually have a mobile quarterback. We can finally be an electrifying team. Not taking a thing away from Drew Brees at all. Hall of Fame first round ballot, as we see, red jacket recipient, one of the best to ever do it, but he just wasn't a mobile quarterback.
No.
So it is understood. So it's the fact that I'm not sitting here saying that this man got the arm like a Drew. No, indeed, Lord. But what I'm saying is, for a young quarterback, he's capable. So this is my 3 guys, running back. I'm with y'all on that, especially if it's their lockdown cornerback. And I wouldn't mind, for the trueness of this show, an interior lineman that can rush the passer like a mug. So those
you have
are
a guy in mind?
Man,
somebody I should be watching these college playoffs.
Definitely Miami's hold all 3 of them. Moulton, what's the other one? He got like 10 sacks on the other edge. They got some guys. Moulton wouldn't be bad. I think he would be available for one of those 3rd picks. Okay. He got 4.5 sacks this year for Miami, and they arguably have the hottest D-line in college football right now. So I think that's if we jumping way ahead, like we don't know what's going to happen in free agency. And some young guys in free agency to work out as well. Well, look, y'all, thank y'all so much for sticking around with us. Had a great show. We had the Tulane players here. Shouts out to them. We did have players. I know we said Ollie, but our next week guest, or week after next, I think it's next week, we'll have Ahmad Cargo. Running, cornerback from John Eric. Play at Tulane. Going into him and Ollie, they both were class of 2024. So we're excited about them. Definitely. Big ups to all our sponsors once again.
Definitely.
Get Gordon, get it done. Conquer Sports Pros. Big ups to Dr. Kendra and Health Nut System. Shouts out to CL NOLA. Big ups to my man, Lil Chris. We used to having a full crew up in there, but the 1, 2s, and the 3s is ran by my man UP. Big ups for him for holding it down.
Shouts out to
the Loyola students are out of town and, on vacation, getting ready to come back to school. And big ups to y'all. Thank y'all for subscribing to Inside the Trenches with Marlon Favorite on YouTube. Thank y'all so much for subscribing to ESPN YouTube Live. We'll be back here next week, 6:30 p.m., same time, same place, right here in beautiful Uptown at Loyola University. Back to school, kids. I see y'all back to school. Parents, y'all get back to that regular schedule. It's crawfish and Mardi Gras and king cake season now, baby. So we're going to keep this party going here. Y'all take care. Peace and blessings. Hello, somebody. Y'all have a good one.